is reframe or is waiting for the object for in case the object is changing by itself. So you wait for some default time. Usually it is 10 seconds. After that, it will come up and recognize. Now you can see recognition score is 20,000. Warning threshold is 10,000. That is why it is warning. So you can see that it is 86. So it is able to recognize still. Right? Now I will make the index also to fail. Let us see what happens. Index if I put, if I change the index, it is 50 by weightage. You can see the weightage as last time it was 15,000 recognition score. Now the recognition score is 20,000. The reason is we have changed the accessible the name property we have changed it. Text property we have changed it to weightage of 100 instead of 50. I am coming back to that text object map. We have changed this weightage from 50 to 100. So we have changed this weightage from 50 to 100. Because of that, the threshold has become 20,000. Now I change it here, the weight. I can change the weight or I can change it here with 1. So that means property is failing with 25,000. Let us see how it is failing. So later we like to manage this object. We don't want threshold to come into picture. So I now going to run the script. So let us see now what happens when we run the script. It started execution. Open the application. So place order. Now you can see 23 is listed. So is he managing now or is he not managing? Or is he going to fail? Now he has failed. He has failed with the exception. Right? So you want to fix this problem, of course you can fix this problem over here, but it is not so easy. So let us not dig into that for time being. I will say okay. I close this exception. Ultimately he has failed to recognize the object. I stop my run. I am stopping the run. Ultimately it failed with the exception. Report is not generated. So he has failed with the exception now. So what to do? How do we manage this? So this is when we are coming to the concept called dynamic object management. So we need to manage this object dynamically. That means I don't want the script to fail. So we are here forcing the script to fail, right? So because of this 25,000 score, he has failed the script. So but I like this to be managed without failure. So first is to manage a dynamic object. I'll come back to the notepad now. Right? So dynamic object management. Here we come across the most important concept called regular expression. Regular expression is one of the way and the best way to manage a dynamic object under rational functional test. So first is understanding the regular expression. First we have noticed now that order number is changing. So what I like to do? So one, get the latest order number and pass it. That is one option. Second option, ignore order number at the time of recognition. So in this case, I cannot get the order number because the order number is the place that I am getting the order number, right, itself is dynamic. So if I have a place where I get the order number which is not dynamic, for example, I get the order number, I go back to the application now. Now we have got the order number as a part of the message. So message is holding the order number. So instead, if I able to get the order number as a part of the main form, as a edit box kind of a thing, right? I am opening the application. I am trying to give you an example of if I get the order number, instead of getting it as a message, if I am able to get the place order once I click, I get an order number over here. Order number is a static field. Under that, the text content is order number. Right? It is like this. The visibility of this like a phone. Instead of phone number, I get an order number there. Then the order number, the phone is the static. Like that, the order number will be a static. Content of the order number varies. That is one way of retrieving the order number. Now, when I click on place order, right? Now, the order number is appearing on this label, message. This message, if I am able to see the content of the message, which we have not tried, we can try that. Then, of course, we can retrieve the order number. What I am trying to say is, there should be some static portion which is possible for you to recognize, so that from that static portion, I can get the dynamic portion. That is what generally the get properties is all about. So in this case, your order has been received, your order number is 15, this portion is where I am considering as the object. This is the label of the message. Since I am considering this portion as my object, this object itself has a dynamic concept. So in this case, what I am trying to do is, I like to ignore this 15. I don't want this 15 to be recognized, part of my recognition. So if I am able to ignore this, then this portion, your order has been received, your order number is a static portion. It is not going to change for every order number that we generate. The changing candidate is only the number that you see in the right. So I like to ignore that and then get the entire content. That's right. If I am able to ignore it, my content will match. Another important point, after this order number, you can see a dot over here. This dot, is it mandatory or is it going to vary again? That's another concept. We need to be careful. Right? So, this is another important aspect that we need to be careful. Another important factor is, this 15 is in 2 digits. It can be in 2 digits, it can be in 3 digits, it can be in a single digit. So the length of the order number is not in our control. So these are all the important points when we are managing a dynamic object, we need to understand. Is it a single digit order number? Is it a multi-digit order number? Is it always going to be a 2-digit order number? Because the way we are going to manage that portion is depending on how the dynamic object is visible to the end user. So when we have to manage the dynamic object, I come back to the notepad. Following points needs to be clearly understood. So in this case, we are going to use regular expression. The methodology that we are going to use is regular expression. So the point that we need to understand is, what we need to do, what we like to do, We like to ignore order number. This is what we like to do. That's perfectly fine. We like to ignore order number. Then, how order number is generated? Second question needs to be asked. That means, is it only numeric, alphanumeric? Because this also plays an important role, etc. So in this case, it is numeric. Then, number of digits of order number means, is it defined number of digits? That means I say 10 characters, 15 characters order number, always 15 characters, etc., etc. So in this case, we don't know. It looks like 2 digits, but it can be a single digit as well. It can be a 3 digit as well. We don't have an exact documentation on saying how that order number is generated. So now how do we manage? So first is understanding regular expression. What is regular expression? How do we manage the regular expression? I will take an example of managing a regular expression. For that, I will take a concept. Assume that the value that we are trying to manage has this syntax. So CNN, CBN, C1N, C special character N. Assume that this is the value that is appearing on our screen. We try to manage this value. So in this, what is the observation that we have? First character and last character is constant. That we have observed. Right? Then, middle character is changing. Number of characters is always 3. So, as per the observation that we have on this content, assume that the content is CNN, CBN, C1N, C@N, right? So, the middle character is changing and its type is, right, alpha, numeric, special, any type. So it is not a specific type. It is not always number. It is not always character. It is not always special character. So this is what the observation is. So now what is regular expression say? In such situation, what regular expression is trying to convey here is, regular expression always means ignore. Ignore a pattern. First, are we having a pattern? Yes, pattern is there. First character and last character is same. Middle character is changing. So this is what this is the place. Can I apply regular expression? Answer is yes. For all such candidates, we can apply a regular expression. Perfect. Now, what he says? Identify the pattern. Right? Identify pattern, mark the object as regular expression candidate. This is very, very important part. Without identifying it as a regular expression candidate, you cannot manage a regular expression because I am also going to use some characters. I need to tell my RFT, these characters are nothing but a regular expression character. So I need to mark the object as regular expression characters. So I mark the object as a regular expression candidate. I mark the object as a regular expression object candidate, then apply regular expression character. This is what we are going to learn, what is regular expression character, etc. Next, that's all. Once you apply it, your job is done. Now, in this case, what is that? I am understanding. Here, what we have understood is the middle character is changing and the middle character is all type of characters. It is not specific to one character. So, after I mark the regular expression as a character, dot represents regular expression character. So, when I apply dot, as a dot means it accepts any value in its place. When I put a dot, what I am trying to say is C dot M. When I try to put regular expression characters dot in place of N, D, 1 at the rate. Now between C and N, you now say there can be one character allowed and that character can be of any type. Right? It can be of any type. It accepts any value in its place. Numeric, alpha, anything. That is what it says, C dot M. So C dot M is now we make the CNN or CBN or C1N or C, that entire expression we made it, assume that we converted as a regular expression. After we converted as a regular expression, we are now applying a dot. Dot represents regular expression, single character regular expression. It is not a multiple character. It doesn't accept multiple characters. So, assume now in this way, C1N, C2N, C3N. Now assume that you have a pattern like this. Now there is no alpha here. So do I need to use dot? It is not required. Then I need to use the pattern. So then I use the open braces 0 to 9. Right? This entire thing is for single character. Represents regular expression for single character with boundary between 0 and 9. So it represents single character again. Right? So square braces is a regular expression candidate. Within square braces, you are giving the value to the square braces. It represents single character regular expression. Then between 0 and 9, it can accept any value. That means when I apply it in reality, I need to apply it like this. This is a way the developer code when you want first 2 digits are characters, the third digit, fourth digit can be a numeric, right? So how a developer coded. This is how he generally codes. So this portion C0 to 9 within square braces represents single character. If I want to put double characters, both are numbers, then how it is? For 2 digits, C0 to 9, second character 0 to 9, but here it means 2 characters are important. 2 characters have to be present. And the third character from C has to be a numeric. So in this case, it can accept only the value C 1, 0, n. These are all acceptable values. Right? Whereas if I put like this is not acceptable value. So this is not allowed because the second digit and third digit has to be a numeric. This is what the regular expression pattern says. If I want to do A to Z, what to do? Put a square braces A hyphen Z. If I want only specific characters to be mapped, A, is A, B, C. Only 3 characters are allowed. So like this we can manage